Prophecy, Isaiah 53:7a, fulfillment, Matthew 27 verses 27 to 31. Oppressed and afflicted. The prophecy in Isaiah 53:7a provides a poignant description of the suffering and oppression that the promised Messiah would endure for the sake of humanity. This prophecy is profoundly fulfilled in the Gospel of Matthew, specifically in the events leading to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Isaiah 53:7a reads, "He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth." These words paint a picture of the Messiah facing intense oppression and affliction, yet choosing to remain silent, displaying a remarkable humility and submission to the divine purpose. This verse speaks to the profound nature of the Messiah's suffering on behalf of mankind. The fulfillment of this prophecy can be found in the Gospel of Matthew, particularly in the events leading up to the crucifixion of Jesus. In Matthew 27 verses 27 to 31, we witness the harrowing scene as Jesus is subjected to mocking, humiliation, and physical abuse by the Roman soldiers and the crowd. In Matthew 27 verses 27 to 31, it is recorded, "Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the governor's headquarters, and they gathered the whole battalion before him. And they stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and twisting together a crown of thorns, they put it on his head and put a reed in his right hand. And kneeling before him, they mocked him, saying, 'Hail, King of the Jews!' And they spit on him and took the reed and struck him on the head. And when they had mocked him, they stripped him of the robe and put his own clothes on him and led him away to crucify him." These verses vividly depict the fulfillment of the prophecy in Isaiah 53:7a. Jesus, the promised Messiah, endured tremendous oppression at the hands of the soldiers. He was subjected to mocking, humiliation, and physical abuse. Despite the cruelty inflicted upon him, he did not protest or defend himself. He chose the path of suffering for the redemption of mankind. Key aspects from the fulfillment. Suffering for humanity. The fulfillment of the prophecy underscores the extent to which Jesus was willing to suffer for the sake of humanity. He endured humiliation and physical pain as part of his redemptive mission. Submission to God's will. Jesus' silent response to the abuse highlights his submission to God's will. He willingly bore the suffering, aligning himself with the divine purpose of salvation. Identification with the oppressed. The Messiah's experience of oppression and affliction resonates with the struggles of the oppressed and marginalized. His willingness to endure such suffering reveals his compassion and solidarity with humanity. Practical application. Empathy. Reflect on the depth of Jesus' suffering for your sake. Let his experience of oppression and affliction deepen your empathy for those who face injustice and mistreatment. Submission to God's will. Learn from Jesus' submission to God's will even in the face of suffering. Strive to align your life with God's purpose and trust his plan, even in challenging times. Solidarity with others. Use Jesus' example to stand in solidarity with those who are oppressed. Advocate for justice. Lend your voice to those who are marginalized, and show compassion to those in need. Gratitude. Express gratitude for the sacrificial love of Jesus, who endured oppression and affliction for your salvation. Let his example inspire you to live a life of gratitude and selflessness. Conclusion. The fulfillment of Isaiah 53:7a and Matthew 27 verses 27 to 31 reveals the profound reality of Jesus' oppression and affliction for the sake of humanity. His willingness to endure such suffering showcases his sacrificial love and submission to God's will. May we reflect on his example, stand in solidarity with the oppressed, and express our gratitude for his redemptive work.